Alright, coming back a little lower than I thought. I've got these two Abrams that were sitting on the back here behind this along this little high ground, taking fire, and I just lost one to artillery. So somewhere there's Soviet recon vehicles with eyes on that position. I had killed a recon vehicle up here. I'm guessing it was a reconnaissance vehicle. And my Kiowa scout helicopters were driven off by effective fire when they arrived at their battle position here. So, I've got units, that's where they're coming from. Alright, I've got a artillery strike incoming here on these Soviet units. We'll watch it. Not much else going on. It's just enough to harass them, keep them pinned down from advancing on my scouts that are up here on this hill. Yeah, now they're getting the hint. Oh, we did get one. You can see the casualty there laying in the middle of the road. Oh. I think that probably pinned him a little bit. So and that fire mission's over. Or watch my artillery strike coming in. Hope these positions are the vehicles are accurate. Maybe I'll catch a few vehicles as they move up along this path. And that smoke just obscured the scout team's view, so that's why they disappeared. I don't know where those two BMPs are headed. But I'm guessing they're going to show up somewhere in this area in my not too distant future. Oh, what do we have here? We have a T-80 that's in the middle of my ranks. How did this guy get here? Oh. Well, who knew they might use this area? And that Bradley's been destroyed. So apparently the computers infiltrated some vehicles through the woods up here. Very sneaky of them. And that's how quickly death comes on the modern battlefield. One of my Abrams found out he was back there and dealt with it. But what I've got to deal with is the sizable force that continues to close on my positions. Now I can use my A-10s and try and bust them up a little bit before they close with my main defensive positions, but I run the risk of sending them to strike further into the enemy territory, run the risk of encountering heavier air defenses. So I'm going to hold off on committing my A-10s just yet. And there's one of those BMP-2s that just showed up. All of 291 meters from my Abrams. what I do think I want to do is to shift this to this intersection. See if we can't harass them and interdict them as they move towards the front lines. My scouts engaging from across the valley. You can see high ground, and then the scout down here in the bottom left-hand corner was on high ground, so that's why we've got the shot. We've got 2,800 meters of visibility, so that's why we were able to get that shot on that vehicle. Yeah, more BMPs and some BTRs. Well, that artillery strike's coming in at the right time. I had it called on this Crossroads area here, and it's catching, from what I can observe from my scouts, a few vehicles in the area. Looks like maybe we lost one. Some days it's better to be lucky than good. Oh, BMP-2 engaging and dying. There's this Soviet artillery. Yeah, I know better than to sit still on this battlefield. I'm gonna let my tanks fend for themselves real quick. Let's see, you can see down here he suppressed light damage. Looks like his thermal sights were damaged. Mobility impacted. Heavy damage on this one, great. He totally lost all his vision. This guy down here has been okay. But, I'm going to order these guys to regroup. I've got one pretty severely damaged tank here. This one's got light damage and this one's got no damage. And then I've got one dead tank back here from that platoon. See my Vulcan air defense vehicle. So I have to regroup here and do it quickly because That Soviet steamroller is just getting closer and closer. I think this is a good time to wrap up part 1 of the video. And then we'll do part 2. We'll have the what looks like the come and fight here in the river valley between the majority of a Soviet motorized rifle regiment and elements of my United States Mechanized Infantry Task Force.